Hey man, I was gonna say something else. Well, number one, it's not Isaac Hayes, it's Avery, whatever. But I was gonna say something else. But you really don't think Future can rap that well?
Okay, here's the thing about Future. This is not a shot at anybody that raps in that Future style or anything, because Future come from the Dungeon family.
Dungeon Family,
So
man.
I know he can rap. It's
Yeah.
the thing where a lot of the rappers nowadays get such a quick monotone kind of rushed flow. I don't know what you're saying. So that's one of the
Okay.
things where I'm like, I don't understand everything that you're saying. I get the vibe, but I don't know what it is. And that coupled with his work ethic and the amount of release, it's like not only do I not know what you're saying, but it's a flood of I don't know what you're saying.
I get it. I
So
used to think like that. And
so that's
then
my thing. I gotta sit like Floss like him.
you
Floss
yes,
love.
he's in my top tier as far as like I'm not saying like oh he could out rap everybody in the world, but I'm saying like for what I enjoy, he's in my top tier. Like and year before quarantine, I was like Future, that nigga's trash. And then I started really listening to him, and I was like,
But you
I have
started going to the gym more.
pretty much.
He
And I
makes
have
gym
yeah,
music. Like everybody is like, dog, if you listen to him in the gym, he makes gym music. I said, okay,
bruh,
I got to listen to him and just put him
he
on.
makes fuckboy gym music. I'll be
Yeah,
identifying with him. I'll be like, damn.
yeah.
Now
So,
I never had to keep my pistol in my pocket, and I never, you know what I'm saying, I never had a famous girl like that can
and
trust
it's
him.
one of those things where it's like I know I don't know what he's saying now. I'm sure if I listened to him more, I would start to understand. You know what I mean? But
It's like Bone Thugs and Harmony. The
they
first time
got
I heard it, I didn't know like we're not against rap. We're not against rap. I didn't know what they were saying. I didn't know what the fuck that
if
was.
we're being honest, there are still a lot of verses where nobody knows what they're saying.
Yeah,
Like
especially Busy.
Busy
Yeah,
Bones, Busy Bone. What was
the
that?
last part of
Heaven's Movie.
okay, that
Heaven's
album. Yeah.
Movie. Heaven's Movie is a cold album. It's only 4 seconds, but it's 4 seconds of
No,
cold.
that's that is this wait, that's the second one. The first one is but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the first one
it's
that's
a,
like
it's a
4 seconds.
cold, it's a cold short album. But there are points where I'm like, Doc, I don't know what you're saying. But I'm also one of those people where I'm like, Doc, I don't know what you're saying. It's almost like Future, but it sound fire, so you should probably keep it. Like that's just all it
Like
is. It
his
sounds good.
his verse on Thug Love, like the last part before Pac starts talking, I don't know what he's saying.
No,
Now
no,
go back and listen to it. He's just,
oh yeah, nobody.
and like, yeah, nigga, put your hand on your strap. You don't
Yeah,
know what the fuck that nigga just said. That
nobody.
nigga could have said, "I will murder and eat your kids," and I was like, yeah, that's
Nobody does.
hard, nigga.
I like. We were talking about this before. I like rappers that enunciate and say their words very clearly. That's why I think I like rappers like Freddie Gibbs and Pusha T. Like
I understand.
I really like a well enunciated rapper. Like
I
those dudes
understand.
could read poetry. Like I mean, there's no getting
They
around it.
can, and
Like
that's
that's
what's
just it.
great about them is loving the art form of hip hop, like we talk about, and the art form of hip hop. It's art. It comes from us because we're black and the lovely as ever. However, I stay used to down to my socks. It's another episode of In My Humble Opinion. No, it's them again. It's them boys from In My Humble Opinion. I am Avery, like a very nice guy, also known as Avery Zadius, also known as Vince McBand's, also known as the Highway 6 God. I got a lot of them. I've called myself Jesus. It pisses my mom off. I identify as Jesus.
I've never heard
But,
you
you
call
know,
the Highway Six God. But continue.
the Highway 6 God is clever.
Okay.
You like that.
It is.
No one thought to do it, and it's me.
There's a dude on
I'm
Highway
the
6.
Highway 6. I'm the only dude that's from Sugarland besides you that will actually claim Sugarland because there's a lot of dudes out here that are from where we're from, but they be lying. You're not from A-Leaf, nigga. You're from
People like
Sugar.
that. People like that Mo City dividing line because I was like, dang, you're walking distance from my. I was like, man, what are you talking about, man? You right around the corner from the Jack in the Box.
Niggas be capping, bruh.
Yeah.
Niggas be capping. It's like my head. No cap. That's me. Okay. But that's my brother with us. Just Divine, ladies and gentlemen. Just Divine.
That's me.
Hey,
Hey.
you can find him as Just Divine on Twitter and Dr. Douglas on Instagram. You can find me at whatever, nigga, you'll find me. It's all good. If you haven't found me yet, you'll watch it. I say it sometimes. Who cares? But you could find both of us at My Humble O because we're, in my humble opinion, we're collective. It's when we come together. And, coming together is one of the greatest things. And I got a chance to check out our next guest, his website. I always like this nigga. Number one, I pointed out when I first met him, he had a luxurious beard. And I've been trying to get mine like his ever since. I don't know why you won't let me do it like that, God. I want that beard. But anyway, he's good people because when you know how it's like them off type of things that you like really like somebody for. On his website, there was a line, okay, and it said, "The gods don't mingle with the mortals." Now I know, okay, you people, you listen to your raps, all right, but some of you are Pusha T fans, and some of you know, and that comes from one of the greatest starts. There's a meaning to the kissing of the ring. The gods don't mingle with the mortals. Peasants ain't sitting with the kings. Goliath ain't worried about your sling, and Cassus ain't bothered by your swings. He's unbothered. And that's how our next guest is an unbothered gentleman, powerful and deceptively fast, hungry and iconic, like a bison, if you will. You see where I'm going here, people? You do. All right. That's exactly the type of energy that Kareem Daay brings to the table with his clothing line, A Herd of Bison, with exclusive runs on colorways that will make Tinker Hatfield and Virgil Abloh proud. He knows his worth. An engineer by day and a clothing mogul, not even just by night, by all times. He's showing you literally how to do this, son. A visionary with a penchant for the artistically fly. Kareem Daay, owner and operator of A Herd of Bison, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, man? What's going on, yo? Hey, that was a hell of an introduction, man. God, man. Hey, but I'm just glad to be here, man. Glad to be back with you all, and I've been peeping you all and seeing what you all been doing, man. And it's an honor to be on the same platform with you all, and just chopping it up. So many thanks.
We appreciate you coming out. Avery, good job almost getting off Virgil. I heard Virgil's name every time I hear it pronounced correctly. I'm like, I'm gonna remember that, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. Like,
I know how to say it right.
I don't. Like, if you said it to me right now, I promise you tomorrow I'm gonna be like, man, just call him Virgil. Like, that's just it. How's everything been going, Kareem?
It's been good, man. It's been good, man. Staying out the way and trying to stay COVID free. I think I survived that, but just staying busy, man, and plotting and scheming and just keeping everything as smooth as possible and trying to break the market a little bit this year with some stuff that we got coming up with A Herd of Bison. But I'm here, man, healthy and happy.
That's good to hear because it's like, we like to talk with guests, especially dealing with this last year. And when we're talking about people that are in the entertainment space where they're selling, especially things like food and entertainment and retail and fashion, this year definitely has some hurdles and some obstacles to kind of get over. I know you guys had that storefront that was over there off of 59 as things going. Like, when things happened in March, what were your first immediate thoughts as to what was going on and how you were going to start adjusting the business?
Man, it really was just everything was still going the way that it was. Nothing really stopped for us, really. The spot that we had, it was a joint venture with one of my other buddies, and it was just, we already knew that it was gonna be just for a moment. We kind of put the speakeasy in there just to kind of activate the space a little bit more, and so that actually went away before COVID even happened. So once everything really started shutting down, it was just business as usual. I guess fortunately, we didn't really miss a beat. You know, things kind of changed, but you know, I wanted to get off a couple more activations and, you know, in-store events with different partners and stuff around the city, but that kind of got put on hold. But it really, you know, you just kind of got to make the adjustments and figure it out, you know.
Yeah, because I'm about to say the way that you guys, the way that you release stuff is real quick, kind of limited releases, high quality, and it's once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah. I know once it's gone. I'm gonna tell you right now. My cousin is always like, "Yo," he's like, "I be waiting," because he got some stuff. Because he's like, "Yo, the bigger sizes go so quick." Like he's like, "You gotta," he goes, "You gotta have the money aside and you gotta be ready because it'll be gone. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna pick that one up later." He was like, "Nah, it's gone." You know what I mean? What? How does it feel to still be able to maintain that level of success and interest just from the general public throughout COVID and then just in general?
Yeah, man. I mean, really, it's just hats off to the supporters, man. I mean, just humbly saying, like, it's really the following that we built, you know, is really like a very it's like a cult like following. So, you know, the people that were supporting before the pandemic supported throughout the pandemic and now. So, but I think that just a testimony to just how we kind of carry the brand as far as being like just genuine and true and making sure people, you know, get exactly what they need. If we have any issues, customer service is on point, things like that, you know. So it's a testimony to that, but it's really a blessing, man. And I just appreciate everybody's support because, you know, you see these brands that, that's here today and gone tomorrow. And you know, for whatever reasons, you know, but I'm just glad that we still here and it's still here to motivate some of the upcoming brands too, to kind of show them the way to go. Not necessarily saying that this way is the right way, but at least you can see the mistakes that we made, and I can give you some game and say, hey, look, don't do this, do it this way. That's really what it's all about. So we're just glad to be here, man.
And what's it like? I mean, you've been doing this for a minute, and we've talked with other people that have been doing it in this space and have stayed in Houston, whether it's Roundhouse Clothing and the Tipping Point, that have been doing it for a while, or even, I'm not going to call them new, but they do have a new storefront like Les and the Dios brand, Les and Georgie. How have you seen the fashion space changing in Houston, especially when we're talking about I don't know what you guys would call yourselves. Would you say you're like a boutique brand? Would you say I don't know how you would classify it, but in that vein, how have you seen it changing here in the city over the last, 5 to 10 years?
Man, it's really beautiful, man. Because I remember 10 years ago, it was, to be honest with you, like Houston just wasn't even really looked at to even be anything about fashion. Like it was not about that, like at all. So over the last, I mean, I would even say like the last like 3 years, you've seen like a birth of like just a boom of different brands and different energy. And to be real with you, people are starting to look at Houston like one of those cities, you know what I'm saying, that really, you know, got so much of a fashion sense, which you know, that's pretty good. I love to hear that. If I go to different states, if I go to different cities, you know, they talk about Houston like that, when once upon a time that wasn't even a thing. It was only screw and syrup and shit like that. So you know,
yeah.
Now you can people actually come here to, you know what I'm saying, and get that type of energy too. So it's really cool, man. And just seeing some of the brands, the local brands come up, you know, right with me, and you know, we all like kind of in the same pod, or you know, giving people the you know, just some good flavor. You know, it's beautiful, man. All my peers are like awesome people. The people that I know are beautiful, man, and what they do, and I love it, man.
Who are some of the brands that you like too, besides Herd of Bison?
Well, I don't like Herd of Bison. I like my boy Les, man, Georgie over there, Dios. I like my guy Kel from Set Sail. Man, who else? My guy Special HCX. I like what he's doing. Man, that's right off top. That's why I'm carrying them right now, man.
Now, what do you kind of attribute it? What do you attribute this change in terms of Houston developing a fashion set? Because I'm telling you, I would attribute it to the kids, the younger generation coming up.
Yeah.
I definitely don't attribute it to my generation. I can't dress and we couldn't. It was like J's, jeans, and a jersey. Like that was it. So what do you attribute to this I mean, and we're talking about a change that has happened 10 years. 10 years to me is just not that long of a time to go from, I'm like you, like nobody's looking at Houston for nothing. And now you're seeing like a lot of different brands popping up here.
I think it's just the change in culture, man. Just it's kind of like a conglomerate of like many different things. I mean, for one, I mean, you start to get Houston starting to, as we all know, music influenced fashion and vice versa, kind of go hand in hand. So you start seeing artists like the Travis Scotts kind of blow up and like really become bigger than this world. That actually puts an eye on the city as well. So people start to kind of look for the city beyond like, okay, we know Travis Scott is from here. Like, what else do they got? Then everything he's coming with. But also just people, I just feel like people just started to just have like a sense of like individuality and like taking risks. Like, whereas before I felt like the city was just kind of muzzled and didn't want to jump out there. But like now you're starting to see these brands develop and people starting to be a lot more courageous about their art, which is that's the first step. You got to be able to be willing to put your art out there and share it with the world. But it's like it's just a boom of that. I feel like it's just it's just multiple things that just happen. But for whatever reason, Houston, we kind of got the spotlight right now. There's a couple other cities that's running neck and neck with us, but I mean, once upon a time, we wasn't even in the conversation like when it comes to this stuff. So, it's all good.
And you were talking about like music. I was talking to Charleston, owner of Exotic Pop, and he was saying one of the biggest things, like he's like, yo, rappers like exclusivity, like they love having the thing that nobody. And I'm seeing a lot more rappers popping up. Like I was like, oh, that's a Bison jacket. Oh, that's a Bison thing. The last time we saw you in person, classroom concerts. And back when people would do stuff outside, and we gather in groups. Classroom concerts, Killer Calleon, one that was just, it was fire. Like, talk about how did that come together? How did you guys develop that?
Collab come together?
Yeah, for sure, man. So what a lot of people don't know is like the way I even started out doing this is it's like what you said, a lot of rappers want exclusive pieces and stuff like that. So like the way that it started out is I used to do just those pieces for myself. So people would see them and then it just manifested into a business because people would just want to buy it off of me right off my back. Then I ended up selling them and then turning it into like a business. But rappers, people that was in the entertainment business used to come to me to do like one-of-one like varsity jackets. So Killer Calleon years ago, he came to me and was like, man, I need a one-on-one varsity. And I think I did a hoodie for him too. So that was way back in the day. We still kept in contact, then A Herd of Bison was birthed and everything like that. So he was still following, he would buy all the stuff, buy the releases. Then he was just like, man, I just want you to design some merch for me for this album that I got. And I was like, man, that's what's up. I got you. So we just kind of came together. I cooked up something. We did the classic split face, and that's how we got on that project, man. It was cool.
No, it was good. It was good. It was him as a goat, like that. Yeah. No, it was
the face goat. That was pretty dope, man.
So yeah.
Now, the other thing too is, and just looking at the website,
Uh-huh.
what I really like is the Herd of Bison Ivy Leagues, because I love that split jacket.
Yeah.
The one that zips right down the back. Like, is this just a separate thing from A Herd of Bison? Is this just a whole nother line? How'd you come up with this, and what are we gonna see coming out in the future?
Yeah, so the Ivy League is Ivy League line is kind of like more of a it's a kind of like an upscale type, I guess, entity of the brand. We got the other stuff that we have that's more, kind of like just the everyday wear, stuff like that, hoodies, um, windbreakers and stuff like that. But with the Ivy League, it's more of like a kind of like a upscale type entity of the brand. So with those pieces, it's a lot of technical things that go on, with the like you see the split apart varsity jackets. There's a lot of details in there, man, and the craftsmanship that's coming behind that and that's embedded in those pieces. You're kind of getting like just top notch quality on those pieces. But that split varsity jacket, that was something that we started, and it's a lot more of that coming for the fall winter. And I think we even got one more piece for the in the summer coming too.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us about it, or is it just gonna be? Well, I know your stuff is always a surprise.
Yeah, man. Just stay tuned. I mean, we always trying to get something, man. I guess the name of the game, man, is not being redundant and giving something to fill a void. That I feel like a void. That's a void, and that's been the aim. So it's something that I've been working on since last year that I'm gonna release at the end of the summer. That I feel like just the world should have, and hopefully it's embraced, and we set the tone like that.
And it's you still are doing the I mean, we've seen the Mike Tyson shirt. When you're talking about that classic split face that you do, although the Tyson shirt was just the entire face.
Yeah.
Like, and that sold out so quick.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That type, man, I almost be feeling bad because I probably like at least 3 times a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, someone asks me about restocking the hoodie, even a hoodie or the tee. Like, just can you restock it? I'm like, man, once it's gone, we rarely do a restock. Yeah. But I feel like I'm gonna have to bring it back because, I mean, Mike Tyson just so iconic and just the design was just so crazy. Like, people just really just loved it,
All I'm saying is, if you do that, just shoot a brother a text. Let a nigga know. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Hey, you know what? Let me tell y'all something, man. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but like you were saying, your boy, like, you got to be quick if you're a bigger, because look, the mediums and larges, like, they don't go as fast as like the bigger sizes, and a lot. That's out. One thing. Like, that's one thing I will say. We get a lot of love just from just it's not the models that's jumping in, that's selling out the stuff. It's the bigger people, man. Like, and I love it because
the bigger sizes go quick. Trust me. Like, if you 3X, they go. And I'm not gonna lie, there's the only thing I hate is seeing it. Like I said, like, if I miss it and then I'm out and I see somebody, I was like, oh.
You don't see anything.
He got the 3X. I see it.
Boy Drew stays with some bison where I'll be like, gee, like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, come up off that. I'm not serious, Drew. Please don't beat me
up. Now the other thing too is, and I know one of the first people to tell us about you was Jack Freeman.
Yes.
And he was talking about he was actually, we were interviewing him. And we were like, Dog, we like your shoes. And he goes, Dog, my boy made these. And he told us about all your stuff. And I know that shoes were a big part of your start when you're getting things going. But I know you're also real exact about how you want things released and you want a quality product. So talk about the response to the trainer that you released, because you released that green kind of shamrock with the bison trainer since our last interview, and I saw the response online. Like, what? How did you feel the? How did you feel the public responded to that?
Are you talking about the Jordan 1 silhouette?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So man, so I was like one of the first people to kind of like, I wasn't the first, but one of the earlier people. I'm not gonna say first, but one of the earlier people that that took that silhouette and kind of freaked it out.
Yeah.
And then it kind of caught on. But the response was really overwhelming. Really, that was like a play that I did. See the thing about footwear, man, and this to the listeners, I mean, if you're interested in it, it's very hard to take up real estate on someone's feet. It's easier to like take up real estate on like their body. So like that, what I mean about that is they'll buy a hoodie first before they buy like their shoes. If you're not, because people like their shoes. They're like, I like Jordans, that's like what I'm gonna get. I like Air Force Ones, that's what I'm, they kind of stick to what it is. So being like a new upcoming footwear brand or introducing a different type of some footwear to the industry, to the market, you got to be very particular. So what I did was, my idea with that was, okay, I'm gonna give people a couple familiar silhouettes so that they can trust me and say, okay, man, I'm familiar with this brand, I like that. And then what we're doing now is introducing the new silhouettes just that I designed that is just completely A Herd of Bison, and I feel like we got enough trust. We got a lot of trust from the supporters, but that was crazy, man. I think we restocked like 3 times on it. Mm-hmm. People were just man, and people still ask me for it. I don't promote it, and it's a reason why I don't promote it. Because it's some stuff that's being worked on behind the scenes that some good things happening, but yeah. So I it's still available. It's kind of like a if you know type situation. You won't see me post about it, but I still give it to my customers, and if they come across it, like we still got a couple pair left, but yeah, we restocked like 3 times on those, so it was overwhelming.
And you've got a couple of more shoes that are you starting to move now back towards produce? I mean, I imagine just creating a shoe, the variables on that are a lot more than just like, okay, I got 4 sizes of t-shirts or 4 sizes of a jacket. With a shoe, it's literally like when I tried to get them trainers, 13 went immediately. And I wear a size 14. So I was like, I wear a size 14, but I can squeeze into a 13. We'll make it work. I mean, literally, like I hit refresh, done. So, I mean, talk about the intricacies and how much more exact it has to be when you're developing a shoe as opposed to clothing.
Yeah, I mean, as many people already know, I'm like really into shoes. So one of the big things that I have is comfortability. I mean, I feel like if you putting something on your feet, I mean, that's just really important for you to be comfortable. So the comfortability factor of a shoe needs to be priority. So for me, it's number one. So my insoles, everything from the insoles to the inside lining, it just has to feel like it just has to feel good. So if it doesn't, then that's where we have an issue. And there's a lot of things I've scratched. I mean, I got stuff around here that I get samples in and I'm like, that's not it because it don't feel good, So that's like one of the main things, making sure that that it feels right. Then you got the sole. The sole is a big deal. That's like the most important part because you got to get certain patents, you got to get certain things that just certain business behind the scenes things that to get a sole approved and for you to have ownership in it and stuff like that. You can't just take a sole from somebody else because like you could get sued like that, depending on what it is. But it's a lot of details. Then the upper, which is the upper part of the shoe, is that's really like your design factor and kind of like how you do it. But it's very intricate, man. It's not really. It's one of the, I would say, more tedious things that I've come across with the Herd of Bison, and that's why you don't see me release shoes like that. And like we did the soft release for the moccasin trainer at first, which wasn't really a release, and then we did the 2 Jordan silhouettes, and then we did like a Reebok like flip too. But it's just a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, but I love to do it. Like really, that's really what the aim was from the beginning. Was I've always been into shoes. I always wanted to design shoes as a little kid. So I felt like, okay, this having the apparel part of it, with the hoodies and shirts and hats and stuff like that will get me into the market and get people familiar. That way, once I start releasing the shoes, people can also, you know, have faith in me and trust me to give them some good shoes too. So it's all like, you got to be very strategic, man, because people ain't putting on anything on their feet. You know what I'm saying? They just not doing that. Like you really got to be. People are really particular about that. So it's a challenge, but you know, just got to be true to what you do. That's how I look at it.
I mean, there's that, but there's also the fact that it's almost like we were just talking about with these fashion brands. I'm seeing a lot of young, black, smaller, just homegrown shoe companies that are popping up that are making some high quality shoes that are selling them at a price point. I guess that's the other thing. You provide a high quality product that sells at a price point that is high fashion. Like there's no getting around it. And this is just you. Like you create this stuff, you ship it out, and all this other kind of stuff, just using the internet alone. And that's something I don't know we would have seen like 20 years ago. That's something I don't know we would have seen 10 years ago.
Nah.
Really, when it comes down to it, what's it like now being in this changing space where you can kind of command, like you can say, like, man, you could go buy some Gucci stuff, but it's something like, not only can I get a high quality piece of fashion, but like I know the person that did it. Like that's kind of dope. So, or I can see other people doing it. It does make it like wearable art.
Yeah,
that's what Todd. Who said
that's
that?
what Todd said.
Todd said wearable
Shout out
art.
to Todd, wearable art.
So what's it like seeing the public's taste change more towards? Do you feel the public's taste is changing more towards supporting like people that they know and they can see, and these other brands? And what's it like being a part of that?
Man, I think that's just a beautiful thing, man. I was talking about that shit probably like a couple months ago with someone, and it's like, you know, I guess you can kind of look at it like the smaller brands are like the underdogs. You know, you got your Gucci's, you got your Louis, you got your Saint Laurent, you got all those different types of brands. But for the most part, man, they come and they look at what the brands, what the smaller brands are doing, and they just kind of take it to a higher level. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of like what it is. If you notice now, streetwear is like high fashion now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that once upon a time, that wasn't even a thing. Like that was like no. But they're coming down, and you know they're looking and seeing what these homegrown brands are doing, man. Because here's the thing, we're connected to the community, like really though, and you know it's that's something that they would like, and they admire that. I think about the smaller brands. And that's what they mimic. Now they also got, you know, they're high end, you know, so they're still doing other things, but they still want a piece of that market. But to see people embrace, you know, the smaller brands like they're doing and supporting is awesome, man. And it's really overwhelming, because the support that we have from the city and beyond the city now is like, man, I can't even. It's just crazy when I see I'm shipping to Australia, shipping to Japan, shipping to LA, I'm shipping everywhere. So it's just beautiful. It just lets you know, like, man, you know, people really cutting for the smaller brands. You know, people don't, you know, it ain't all about the Gucci's. I'm not saying Gucci is bad or anything like that, or these higher end brands, but you know, when you dealing with these smaller brands, you actually gonna get a taste of the community. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna really get a feel for like what it's really about. Like you're gonna see the grit. If you go on my Instagram, you're gonna see I'm gonna show you things that that people don't even show you. Like I'm showing you the behind the scenes, so you can actually get the front row seat to like how it's being produced or how it's being made, you know. And I think people like that connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly how I thought it would be, because it's good seeing. I mean, I feel like even because of the pandemic, when we were talking to like whether it's local restaurants, local businesses and things like that, like, you know, you can go get your coffee from Starbucks, or you can go to like 6 Day Coffee, and you can talk to them, you can see them. You know what I'm saying? You can go, and I said there's nothing against Starbucks. Like sometimes Starbucks is cool, but it's also cool to see a brand that you just know. You know what I mean? Like it's like I know this person. I feel like I'm supporting something. You know what I mean? As opposed to I'm supporting shareholders. Do you ever I know you had and you said that was just for a moment in time, that collaboration in terms of the store that y'all were doing. Do you ever have plans on moving into a storefront or anything like that, or do you like just kind of being able to just sell online and be on the move?
That's something that we're talking about now. I mean, to have a brick and mortar, it's good and it's bad to that. You know what I'm saying? Number one, you know, you're looking at overhead, which like at this point in time, we don't have overhead. It's like it's direct to consumer, which is a lot more, to me is a lot. I like to, you know, I like the direct to consumer because, you know, it's nothing in between. It's just like, yo, you're talking to me, you're getting it from me, it's shipping out. When you have a brick and mortar, it's cool because people can go to a direct place and actually be able to get your merch. But I just believe when it's like that, the exclusivity and the mystique behind it kind of goes away. And what a lot of people say about A Herd of Bison, they appreciate the mystique. Like it may be a piece that might release, but man, if you don't get on there, like it's gone and you won't see it again, like type. But if with the brick and mortar, like if you have a place there, like it's the mystique factor kind of like lessens. I'm not gonna say it goes away completely, but it's like, okay, we know we can go right here to get something from A Herd of Bison, but now I think it's a little bit attractive to have that mystique factor that we have with the brand. So, you know, you kind of got to go online or you got to get in there and get online when something releases and get it because it might sell out, you know. So I don't know. I mean, part of me I'm thinking about having a brick and mortar, but I'm more leaning towards like just keeping it the way that we going and just expanding this way and just actually having stores just carry the brand, which we got some stuff coming up in this year. There's gonna be a few stores that be carrying the Herd of Bison.
Oh, okay.
Are they going to be carrying it for a limited time or a long run?
Man, for a long run, man. We here for the long run, not a little.
I don't know with you. You might be like, I don't want to see no Herd of Bison for like a while, just to build up the exclusivity. You know how to market, you know.
Yeah. It's it's a few things that man, that we just excited about, like really, and but it's all part of, you know, giving people, keeping good quality, still being tangible with the community, and giving back, and all that mixed in one with good fashion, man. That's really what A Herd of Bison is about.
Speaking of good fashion, how Gucci has its print, and how, you know, people know what is that, Tiffany blue. One thing that you have that is a constant variable, like your hat there, the map. That is clever.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that type of thought process to have the map, though?
Man, you know, I wanted, when the first time I did a map, it was on a windbreaker, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to tap into the community and to the city, really, and give the city something like that they can identify with. And of course, we're based out of Houston, so it was only right to do a Houston map. But people connect to that. It's something about that. I mean, you look at maps every day when you putting in something in Google Maps or whatever. You know, you driving somewhere, you're looking at the map. So like, it connects to an individual a lot more intimate, you know, than just having bison on something. If you see a map, like, man, I used to live right here, or shit, I live in this area right there. You know, it's like a connection. So that's something that I did in the beginning, and we just kept it going. And demand for it, and people always saying like, man, when you gonna do another map release or something like that? So we got a couple more pieces on the way.
And I mean, even with that map, I mean, going back because we were going to talk about uh, your travels over this last year, like that collaboration you put together. Was it a lookbook or was it a release for Philadelphia? Because I think that was the Philadelphia map that was a part of that. How did that come about?
Yeah, man. So we connected with the store out there in Philly, and they started carrying some of A Herd of Bison. But I have people out there. I mean, as you are, I'm originally from Philadelphia.
Of course, you can look at you and tell. So,
Hey, but look, man. Hey, look, man. I'm look, man. I've been in Houston so long. I'm a Houstonian. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can't. If I get on tape saying that I'm not from Philly, man, my family gonna disown me.
but wait. Before you get to the next point, are you an Eagles fan?
Nah, man. You know what, man? Y'all gonna kill me. I don't even listen, man. I don't watch. Only sports I watch is boxing and MMA.
Okay,
that's it.
All right.
So I don't have a team. I don't have. I like to play it, but I don't have a team. I don't. You know, I just watch boxing all day, every like.
Hey, I feel that.
How you feel about what is it, Floyd Mayweather and old boy and their
Logan
fight?
Paul.
I mean, hey, look, man. Look, if you're gonna get 100 mil, get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you're talking about making sure your grandkids are good. You know what I'm saying? I dig it. Get the bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's anything. I mean, is it good for the sport? Nah. Is it entertaining? It's gonna bring new eyes to the sport, but those new eyes that come to the sport, they're not gonna hang around too long. I mean, they just gonna be there for that moment. You know, the Jake Paul fans, but they're not gonna stick. They're not gonna just be watching boxing after that.
Yeah.
They're gonna go back to whatever he's doing. So, you know, I don't think it really does anything for the sport, but at the same time, you know, it's entertainment, man, and we've been locked up for I don't know how long, and you know, the last year with COVID and shit like that. So, hey, man, people just want to see some. They want to just be excited, and if that's what it's gonna do, and you can make 100 mil out of it, salute you, man.
Absolutely. I mean, so we talked about that Philly connection, but I also am a big fan. I was honestly surprised. I mean, he's bigger than us and taller than us, but that my little cousin got into the fashion because he bought the hoodie with the railroad tracks. Like that was the first ones he bought because it's like all this stuff is incorporated into it, and there's always some kind of historical element to each piece. Talk about because I saw you out in Oklahoma for a while, and you did some pieces that were based on Oklahoma. We were able to talk about Black Wall Street, all that stuff. How did that come about?
Man, so a lot of people maybe no, I don't know, but my wife is from Tulsa, so I've been going to Tulsa shit since we got together. Like shit, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that. So I've always been intrigued with just the city and the history behind it, and of course, you know, Black Wall Street was in Tulsa, but the people there, just everything that the city kind of brings, you know, I've always been like infatuated with it. So I've been planning to do something involving the city and around Black Wall Street for years, and we put out the satin jacket, which was it's paying homage to Black Wall Street and giving people a history lesson about that, because a lot of people don't know about that. But that was really a moment in time for Black people, and where we all was like really together. You know what I'm saying? And they built a lot. It was just a striving community and doing everything that it needed and being everything it needed to be for Black people. And of course, the demise of it was horrific, but it was still a moment where we all came together. So I wanted to remind people of that. So we did the satin jacket, and we collabed with the store out there called Silhouette to do the exclusive release for them. And so you could only in Tulsa, you had to go to Silhouette to get the jacket. And
Wow.
the
Damn.
day of the release of that jacket, she said, the owner, she said, I never had a line at my store, but I had people when I pulled up to go into my store to open it. It was people lined up in front of my store to get this jacket. And I was like, hey man, I'm just glad that we all, we collabed on it and he was able to, he wanted to carry it. So that was really a moment that I was really proud of right there to release that Black Wall Street jacket.
And I think, and like I said, we talked about this the last time. One of the things I always like about your pieces is all this attention to detail and
Mhm.
how much you'll do on parts that people don't necessarily would even think about. Like a lot of the intricacies and artwork is on the inside of the jacket. Like,
Definitely.
and I'm a big fan of it. The Black Wall Street, Archer and Greenwood, that whole picture is printed out on the inside of the jacket, and I don't know, it just kind of takes it to another level. I like it.
Definitely, man. It's a lot of the pieces that I do, man. It's really when you get a jacket or you get a piece from A Herd of Bison, like look at it in its entirety because it's a lot of hidden things that I don't even promote. Or you gotta once you get the piece, then you see it. Oh shit, I didn't even know this was there. Like because I like that surprise, that wow factor. Once you get it, it's something that you kind of discover and like, oh man, I didn't even know this was here. Like, oh okay. I like doing stuff like that. So I think that's one of the things that people associate with the brand is those different little intricate little, highlights of a garment that we release.
And now we're gonna bring it back to Houston. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions on some Houston collabs, some that have already happened, and maybe you'll tell us about some that are happening. Maybe we gonna find out. But the Breakfast Club. I woke up one morning, I popped up my phone, and I'm like, you were doing some stuff with the Breakfast Club. How did that come about? Like the two of you getting together and putting your two brands together.
Man, so I've been seeing Marcus, the owner of the Breakfast Club, around for a minute, and I saw him at an exclusive event that we both were invited to, and I had a small conversation with him. I just basically just really just praised him and told him which I know he probably heard it a million times, but just what the Breakfast Club mean to the city, and just really just show him, just tell him that we just really appreciate it. It's one of the first places I went to, coming here, and it's really just a staple in the city. So I just proposed that man, I would love to design some merch for the Breakfast Club, and he was just okay with it. Like he was, because he had already been seeing the Herd of Bison around, and I think he even purchased some stuff from me. And he was just like, man, that's automatic. Like, let's go. So it was so smooth, man. He was just like, let me know what you want to do. I mean, I cooked up the design. I still kept the aesthetic with the brand. We mimicked both of the hoodies based off the ambiance of the Breakfast Club. Like inside, you got the maroon, the brick, and all that. So we did that Breakfast Club Bordeaux colorway. We did the yellow. Like we just kind of incorporated everything that that the Breakfast Club means to the city, and then gave it a Herd of Bison twist. And that release was successful, man. I was really happy and humbled to work with the Breakfast Club on that project.
No, that's big. That's big. And the project looked great. Can you tell us about any upcoming projects?
Man,
Can you even
yeah,
allude to anything?
There's something big
man.
coming.
Look, man, look. I tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you this. I'll give you a couple of things. We was talking off air about the collaboration we got with Things with Tide. So for starters, I'll start with that. That's coming up. We've been working on something for a minute now, and
Wait, who?
I think we're gonna say it again.
Who you working with?
Things with Tide.
I've never heard of that nigga, but fair enough.
Hey, yeah. But, so I think we're gonna get that rolling like this summer. But it's always working. Anything that Tide, man, anything they really, it's always fun, man. I like going to these events. So we've been cooking up something for a minute, and I think that's gonna release probably this summer. But outside of that, man, you know, the aim is to kind of well, one of the aims is to actually be able to merge with bigger entities to kind of get connected and extend our reach as far as an audience. So I can say this, man, we got some stuff coming up. Man,
Okay.
yeah.
Yo,
I'll put one of them out there. I'll put one of them out there, man. We got some stuff coming up with Reebok, so just be on the lookout for that. So and I'm gonna just say this also. Just make sure once we start putting it out there, y'all gotta pull up because it's gonna be an in-store event. So pull up, man, and you know,
I'll have my money, and I will be ready for that. But one thing, with your paying attention to detail and you know, making in the words of Todd, wearable art, certain things that you do, like people will, you know, aesthetically pleasing, put something in the middle of shirt. You'll do things like, all right, specifically the Ivy League camo parka, a sleeve that's basically the hand stitch. It's a hand stitch floral print, but it's like that couch that we've all seen. Are you worried about anybody stealing your ideas though?
Man, you know what? I tell you what, man. I used to, once upon a time, man. I used to really get hung up with that, man. You know, just people or bigger entities kind of coming down and looking at what we're doing and then taking it. And the reason and then running with it because you know they have the resources to get it out to the people faster and produce a lot more faster, you know. And I used to be hung up off of that, but I had conversations with people that I love, man, and they kind of set me straight years ago about that because I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't even know if I told y'all this story, but H&M had a Versace and H&M collab, and Kanye West was performing with Jay-Z at the Victoria's Secret show, and you know they had the performances and stuff like that. And he came out, and I watched that every year, like when they have it on TV. Like that's something I watch with my wife and my kids. I got 2 daughters, so they into fashion. So I you know that's what we doing, and plus I just like it because you get to see just beautiful people, man. But I remember watching that, and they came out with Kanye had the H&M and Versace collab, and the jacket was a jacket that basically I've been doing for people around the city. This is when I used to do the one-of-ones, but it was similar to it, and one of the jackets looked like very close to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there watching it, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I just started like I started shedding tears because I'm like, damn, like, and I called my brother. I'm like, yo, turn it on the channel. And he turned it on. He like, ah, fuck. And it's like, you know, at that point, I felt like, damn, man, like this is something that we had that we was really running with, like really like the first of its kind. And it, you know, it could be a coincidence that for sure, like, you know, people come up with the same ideas, but to see a bigger entity get it out to the world first, I was kind of fucked up behind that. But the people that I love that's around me helped me with that because, you know, basically it was just a moment for me to reflect and say, look, man, at least you on the right path. That lets you know that you're on the right path. So since then, it's been other things that's been happening, but these days I just take it and I say, hey, look, it's all right. We're going to get our time. And soon, you know, we'll be in that position to where we on the big stage and people get to see all the things that we innovate. So when I do things like the Parker, you know, with the one sleeve and all that, I'm pretty sure somebody will pick it up. I'd rather not know you, you know what I'm saying? But nobody.
Otherwise, that Philly come out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's. I know it's part of the game, but at the same time, you know, I don't know, man. I can't get caught up on that. I just know that I have so many ideas that sometimes I get frustrated that I can't get them out. So even if that one somebody take that one, it's so much up here that like I get frustrated. My wife had to tell me like just relax because you're gonna get your time to put it out. But I'll be feeling like it ain't enough hours in a day like for me to really get stuff. So people always say, man, you release stuff very frequently. It's because I got so much shit that I just need to get out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, somebody may take it, man, but at the end of the day, man, as long as you know where it came from first, that's all we respect. So
that's good. Respect.
Before we even get out of here, I just wanted to know because I couldn't get a chance to ask you when it happened. A Herd of Bison toilet paper, man. This was. I was like, you know, we was trapped in the house around this time. So the Herd of Bison toilet paper. Where does this idea come from?
Hey, man, it's, you know, that the quote on it say, "I wiped away the bullshit to see the vision more clear." That's really what it's all about, man. Something that we just wanted to, you know, remind people like, yo, don't worry about any of the bad shit that happened to you. Just keep it moving and you're gonna be all right. You know, that was what that was. But if you ain't getting none of that, let me know, man. We got a lot of that. So I can send you 12 rolls, man. If you want, you can go ahead and flood your house up with some Bison toilet paper.
Yeah.
And it's soft too. It's soft
too. Designer toilet paper. I'm only gonna use it when girls come through. I'll be like, "Oh, you don't know?"
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Now, before we get out of here, where can people find you and everything the Herd of Bison is doing?
Hey, man, you can find A Herd of Bison on Instagram, A Herd of Bison, just like how it sounds, or the website www.aherdofbison. Don't have a Twitter. And you can find my personal IG, which is Kareem Daay, Daay on IG. And yeah, man, watch out for the scammers too, man. I do want to say that to the listeners. Watch out for the scammers because we've been kind of dealing with that lately. People acting like myself and messaging you from weird numbers, and we got some scamming happening. And just know that one thing to note is that I'm never gonna reach out to you to solicit you, like text you or nothing like that. Like that's not gonna happen. And I have an 832 number, 524. So if you see a number coming from, we had numbers coming from DC, coming from New York, coming from LA, coming from Florida. These people, you know, they message me and, you know, like, man, is this you? I'm like, no. And then the ones that know me, they catch it and, you know, they run the people off. But yeah, you know, appreciate the support and love, man.
Yeah, man, the scammers are out there. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
It means you're on the right path because they only going to scam people they think they can get stuff. Or they're like, oh, this guy gets attention. Let's see what we can get.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, man, but you know, that's just part of the game, man. You know, it's sad, but you know, just take those notes that I just said. If it ain't coming directly from me, and you call the person and see, they probably ain't gonna pick up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, man. We really want to thank you for coming out and really, like I say, staying in and picking up your phone or being on the computer and get with us, Kareem. And it's always a pleasure to pick your brain and see exactly what you're thinking because your clothing is really amazing. We see a lot of clothing lines. I know I can speak from me and my brother and say, this one's our favorite. I mean, to that the Jordan 1 silhouette. I mean, the math behind it of knowing, like, come on, you've had to know the math of being the number one. Houston's the number one purchaser of Jordans, and like, it makes sense. You're a genius, and you know, we like people like that who are geniuses on in my humble opinion, and we want to thank people like that because my name's Avery, like a very nice guy, and I'm a nice guy. My brother, Just Devon, he's a nice guy. We like interviewing people like you. So if you know that you want to be interviewed by us, just come and get in my Humble O's DMs. That's In My Humble Opinion podcast. I want to thank everyone. Humbly yours, H-Towns, too sweet. H-Towns, too sweet.